And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glasser coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, Inside Sports Fantasy Football, and Game Source. We truly appreciate everyone out there listening to all of our shows. And if you can, please give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Plus, if you can like, share, subscribe, or do anything that you can to support us right here at the Lakers Fast Break. And everyone out there on YouTube, Facebook, and also listening as well, you've done a great job. Keep it going and tell a friend about us. Plus, if you can also like, share, subscribe, follow, or do anything you can to support our good friends at LakersBall.com. There's only 2 games left, so be part of the great game time conversation that is available at LakersBall.com. You know, it's not all doom and gloom there, so please be part of the conversation today at LakersBall.com. Plus also the great conversations and great articles that are there at Lakerholics.com. Plus our good friends at the Hoopheads Podcast Network. If you could support all that and my other show, the Pop Culture Cosmos, where we're going to talk some great things, including the great movies that are coming to theaters this weekend, it is sincerely appreciated. Well, the Lakers decided already to go into Cancun mode, as I saw on the LFB podcast. Vacation mode is here, and no LeBron. And unlike what Tom had said, LakerTom was going to say, yeah, we're going to have LeBron today. No LeBron.
No, I said he was going to do the last 2 games, not this game.
I thought you said he was going to do Golden State because he plays very well at Golden State.
No, but I said that he wants the easiest teams, and that's going to be Oklahoma City and Denver.
Okay, fair enough. Anyways, he wasn't here. AD talking about how it was all up to the injuries. That's the reason why for all the Lakers woes, who is now the major source of trade rumors, which amazingly happened the second they lost their game and are out of the playoffs. Funny how that is. He was not here today. Plus also Russell Westbrook, the source of constant conversation, how he again had an empty stats game. He was not available as well, as the Lakers went in shorthanded. Also as well, they waived Trevor Ariza. Today was actually the final cut day for a lot of individuals who had a expiring contract. You go ahead and waive them today. So if you wanted to sign up some two-way players on actual extended contracts, you could go ahead and do today, but you had to go ahead and waive a player with an expiring contract, and several teams did that today. I was kind of surprised the Brooklyn Nets waived James Johnson, but I guess they have some major plans there because they wanted to go ahead and sign Kessler Edwards to a standard NBA contract. But the Lakers, who knows what they're going to do? They did waive Trevor Ariza, so bye once again to Trevor Ariza. Wish him the best. But the Lakers, shorthanded as they were, went up to Golden State and were competitive. As Joe always says, 3 quarters of the game. It was unfortunately at the 4th quarter that they faded once again, and the Golden State Warriors, behind a pretty good shooting performance from Klay Thompson, 33 points. Seemingly, it was a good day for him. Hopefully, he can get get everything together in time to become a somewhat near replica of what he used to be as the playoffs near. 33 points for him, and the Golden State Warriors cruised to an easy victory, 128-112. Lakers weren't playing any defense. You looked at the highlights. Even if you look at the game as a whole, Lakers were not hustling back on defense once again. THT with an outstanding game, an empty stats game for him, 40 points, 15 of 28, 2 of 6 from 3. Malik Monk chipped in with 24. Dwight Howard, who should be our 3-point shooter for the long and short term now and going forward in the future because he's shooting 61% in the season. He got 16 and 12. But the Lakers once again fall 128-112. I really think that LakerTom, you've got your stretch 5. You've got your stretch 5 in Dwight Howard right there for you. 61% of the season right there for you. So I'm just saying.
Every time you look up the stats for 3-point shooters, doesn't matter what criteria you put on it, Dwight Howard comes up at the top of the list.
What do you know? What do you know indeed? But here today to talk about the game are 3 great guests indeed. First up, first man here is the man behind Lakerholics.com, please check out his latest article today at Lakerholics.com. Is a really, really good read. He has been all over the Twitter waves with his at LakerTom on Twitter talking about what the Lakers should do. And you know what? It's always a great source of conversation. It is LakerTom. And LakerTom, before we start, I've got some great news for everybody in a day that has been nothing but bad news, or a week that's been nothing but bad. At least HBO renewed Winning Time for another season.
You know, I posted that article on Lakerholics.com, and I knew that would be something dear to your heart.
I posted it.
It's got to be the Kobe and Shaq. Kobe and Shaq have got to be the second season, I presume.
I posted it. That was me.
Oh, did you post it?
Yes, I posted it. I put the Variety link and everything.
Oh, well, I posted it too.
Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough indeed.
And I think, yeah, so
it was a good sign.
What's going to be the third season is the question. The third season, we could have just seen the third season.
Yeah, that's true.
Or the bubble would obviously probably be done before that.
I'm just going to say it's a good sign when halfway through your season, the network already approves you for another season. That's a very good sign as far as following is concerned. That means people are retaining. It's not just a high number at the beginning and you're fading, because if that's the case, there's a lot of shows. I remember Cowboy Bebop Netflix last year was everybody watched the first couple episodes and died by episode 10. People are watching continuously, and that's why this show got renewed.
Well, you know, it's a funny thing because up until I had my shoulder replacement and was basically starved for things to do, I really didn't watch episodic television at all. I mean, I've refused to watch it. In fact, between sports and movies, I just don't have any more time. I'd be glued to the screen all the time. And so I started binging things, which basically is really not the same thing as watching.
Well, you're now falling in line with everybody.
It's continued every week, you know, and you wait. That's the one thing I find weird about Winning Time is I gotta get back into it every Sunday.
Severance on Apple Plus.
On the show, whereas every other program I watch, I basically refuse to watch it until the season's over so that I can binge the whole thing and, you know, watch it in one sitting so I don't lose what's happening and so forth. But tonight was the Talen Horton-Tucker audition night. 40 points, man. He's working hard. You got to give him a lot of credit because this is a kid who could have been traded for Kyle Lowry last year. And instead, he's turned into trade fodder. He's nothing more than filler to get up to a salary, you know. Our tradable assets have gone downhill so far that really the two draft picks are our biggest assets, you know, and Russ's expiring contract. And the only thing the players are good for is just being able to make a legal trade. They're the filler. So tonight we saw, you know, I mean, some GM, maybe one or two of them out there, will tonight be looking at Talen Horton-Tucker and thinking that, you know, man, you know, he just didn't fit on the Lakers, but on our team, with all of the shooters that we got, we need guys who can get to the basket. Nice defensive play by him and so forth. So I don't know what else you could be rooting for in these games. I mean, I think LeBron will be back for the last two games so that we can actually root for him to win the scoring championship. At least I'm assuming that. I don't know. You know, you don't know with LeBron whether that's really important to him or not. He might just kiss it off and say,
"We'll know tomorrow."
I got so many accolades. What the hell do I want a scoring title with? On the other hand, this has not been a great season, so it'd be nice to have something to take home with you. But yeah, I watched the game. I announced on Lakerholics.com that this might be the first game of the season that I didn't watch. But I did. So 2 more to go.
2 more to go, indeed. But yeah, it's something that definitely is with THT. What are you going to do? He's empty points, trying to go ahead, like you said, to showcase Tom, but we'll see what happens with him. Again, I put you on mute because you're echoing. So sorry, let me go ahead and get you back on. What'd you say, Tom?
I just said that the thing with Talen Horton-Tucker, and everybody has to realize that it's It's like a Russell Westbrook situation. There are other teams that Russell Westbrook would play much better than he did for the Lakers. And there are other teams that Taylor Horton Tucker would probably play much better than he did for the Lakers too. I mean, he needs to be on a team that's just filled with shooters, so that everybody's afraid to, there's, on the Lakers, you put him out there with LeBron and AD and Russ and man, there's no room to get to the basket because there's going to be 4 or 5 guys in the paint all of the time.
All the time, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what GMs tell themselves when they look at it all these. That's what we're doing on every one of these trades that we talk about. Yeah, that guy's got problems, but he'll be great on the Lakers, and he fits on the Lakers better. And fit is one of the things that we learned that you can't ignore. We ignored it. Rob Pelinka ignored it totally. He ignored fit, positional size, and defense. And 31 and 49
things you need to win a record. Yeah. Just the 3 basic things you need to win a game.
Yeah.
But here today also as well to go ahead and talk about the Lakers tonight and what's going on as well is Jamie Sweet, the madman as far as Admiral Akbar himself, the guy behind his 5 Things articles at Lakerholics.com. Jamie, great to have you here, my friend. I wanted to go ahead and ask you real quick. You saw THT tonight, 40 points in the loss. Again, the Lakers have no defense to speak of, especially the effort wasn't there as far as getting back defensively was a nightmare. I don't know if you want to even use this as a barometer of anything because right now they're just playing out the string. The constant rumors of AD being traded now are getting louder and louder. You're going to hear the constant rumors of getting rid of Frank Vogel now. It's just a matter of time. We hear all this impending stuff that's going on. Your thoughts going into what is going to be a very interesting weekend as the Lakers close out their probably what they're talking about right now is this the most disappointing season ever. I'm hearing that all the time now on ESPN and NBA and all that stuff as far as the channels are concerned. But whatever you want to call it, their end of the end is near.
Yeah, it can't come quickly enough. We're just like the patient bleeding out on the table right now. We haven't flatlined yet, but it's just a matter of time. So, like you said, we had a empty calorie game tonight from THT, and what was basically a glorified preseason game. It looks like for the most part, as I watched it.
The Warriors are still fighting for something. They were fighting still for 3rd place in the Western Conference.
Yeah, but even like the first 3 quarters, I don't think that it was like an all-star game. Nobody was really trying on defense all that much till about a couple minutes left in the 3rd, most of the 4th when Golden State pulled away and they just tightened up and Green started trying, started making great Draymond Green plays like he does, and the Lakers aren't playing for anything, and it shows. Basically, the only thing to wonder at this point is, since he hasn't been shut down for the year, will we actually see Kendrick Nunn play a game or 2?
He was shut down in the regular season.
Yeah,
no. They announced that he wasn't in a regular.
Oh, they did today. Finally.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's that then. Yeah, I mean, LeBron may or may not win a scoring title. It doesn't matter. That's not what this team. That's not what the organization is about. It's not what LeBron's about. No, none of them should be happy with that. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, maybe I don't need the scoring title just because I don't want to be reminded of this season every time I look at my shelf full of trophies. Like, oh, that I love, that scoring title. Well, that's you don't want to. There's no reason to look back on this except for the front office to learn from their mistakes of last summer. So, it's funny that we say things like, THT would have been, would be so much better on a different team. And we, at the beginning of this season, had thought that, because the Lakers rewarded him, chose him over Caruso, that they had seen something. Right, didn't trade for Lowry, rewarded him over Caruso. Many choices to the THT camp, and not against. And I just thought I think he's had his worst season yet, to be honest. I mean, really, we're talking about 2 seasons since he didn't play much his first season. Really just had a nice showing in the playoffs against Houston.
Pressure changes everything.
Yeah, well, like he has no pressure, right? And nobody cares.
Not tonight, but he had pressure during the year.
And there's nobody to
from
soak up
signing that big contract.
Well, and nobody to soak up possessions. You know, nobody to soak up the. No, he had the ball in his hands a lot, and so but that didn't look like winning basketball to me.
Well,
That didn't have the mark of, oh, well, this looks like something that we could sustain or that you can rely on or anything like that. So, you know, I'm glad he got a career high. That's always great, I'm sure, for young players to be like, oh, I can score X amount of points, and that's cool. You know, I'll be surprised if he's on the Lakers next season. I'll be very surprised if he's on the Lakers next season. If he is, he's got a lot to work on. You know, he's got to get to a place where he can play with the energy that he plays with when it's a G League game or a preseason game and he has a big role. He needs to figure out a way to compress that into a realistic NBA role. It's unlikely THT is going to go to some team and suddenly become the primary guy. You know, you got to figure out a way to fit in. You know, the world of sports is littered with talented people who just couldn't figure it out. And THT's, you know, got a summer to do some figuring out and figure out how to fit into a role. Because I really do see him topping out as an above-average role player in the NBA. I don't see him. You know, he just doesn't have any of the. He's got long arms. It kind of tops out there. At least from what I've seen, you know, I'm always happy to be proved wrong if he adds gets some more lift on his jumper, or, you know, is able to, you know, develop a little bit more of something resembling a first step that, you know, gets you to the rim past your man. But right now he still relies on like snaky avoiding contact, sort of flip the ball up and hope for the best kind of moves. And when they go in, it looks great. You think to yourself, wow, that was a nifty shot, but I don't know. 2 years into the THT experience, and I don't see what the Lakers have seen, and so I doubt many other teams do as well.
Also here today to talk about the game is a good man indeed. He is part of the – I hear the can popping already. Is that a celebratory can for the Lakers season?
When I was in the fraternity, when you said something good, we did this.
There you go. There you go. Almost like the Adams family.
No.
All right. Well, okay.
Nothing.
All right. Well, it is Ox1947. Please be part of his game time chat every time out. Well, there's only 2 more left at LakersBall.com. Joe, we're just trying to find some energy, unlike the Lakers did as far as on defense today. What can you bring to us about today's game and the constant things that are surrounding the team right now? Because all you hear is disappointment, greatest ever, AD going to be traded, what's LeBron going to do, and how fast can we get rid of Frank Vogel? How fast can we get rid of Rob Pelinka? How fast can we change over the ownership? Magic Johnson's laying waste to us as far as right now. Nothing much to talk about in Lakerland.
What was your first one?
I think there was a game today.
Okay, good. I wanted to make sure. The energy today was listening to Kevin Harlan do play-by-play. I'd say that was the highlight of the game. I rarely hear Kevin Harlan do play-by-play. And
very solid, very, very good.
And it was very nice. Now, it does kind of go downhill from there with the guy next to him. It got topped off. I was driving home. And again, I have a hands-free thing, and I'll kind of peek at the game as I'm watching or as I'm driving. And when Malik Monk had that block at the rim, and Reggie goes, "Not in my
temple."
I just started laughing. And I'm like, what a fitting way to end the game with one of the corniest color comments I've ever heard.
Yes.
Top 5. I bet you he did not come up with that right at that moment. He wrote that down probably a few months ago, because Reggie's not that fast. He's not that fast. I can guarantee it. So
Don't say that to the Knicks.
Well, again, when it comes to basketball, all hands up for Reggie. For a man who was known as just a shooter, you talk about what we lack in leadership. Boy, did he have an abundance of it. And it's just unfortunate he ran into the three baddest men of the last 30 years, which is Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kobe Bryant. Otherwise, he'd have 2 titles. And Reggie, again, I'm picking on Reggie. I don't dislike Reggie. I just think his commentary sometimes is a little quick. When Marv Albert was with him, he was relentless. He would jab at Reggie, and it would make the telecast even funnier, or even better, I should say. But going back down the list, so we're talking about what the next steps are, and the Anthony Davis trade rumors have picked up. I've noticed that in the last day. I said earlier on a few shows ago that this does need to be at least looked at. If there's a deal out there that would work, I would definitely at least look at it. And I'll kind of leave it at that. I think you're going to have to pay attention, and with the way
how do you look at it and keep your relationship with the player and with Clutch Sports?
You take the call. You take the call. You take the call.
At this point, I'm not really going
and
to.
Word of the call gets out, and
I really don't have any feeling on Clutch. I don't. If I'm the owner,
think it's a delicate thing that you can't. You really. I just don't see the Lakers going there simply because it's going to undermine one of the only 2 players that you really care about going forward. I mean, everything would change if LeBron says he's got till August 4th. On August 4th, he'll be eligible to sign a $97 million 2-year extension. And it could be a 1-and-1 thing so he could get out in time to play with his son. And it would line up the Lakers' contracts so that LeBron and AD would finish the same year and would have options the following year. So the Lakers want to if LeBron is going to have to tell the Lakers in advance, because in the first week of July, they're going to have to make moves. And you can bet that some of those moves may include players taking back salaries from players who have more than 2 years left on their contract. They're not going to do that unless LeBron James promises that he's going to sign that extension. So that's the only situation that is going to turn into a trade, and we'll find that out probably the first week of July, because LeBron's going to have to commit to the team, or the team won't commit to him.
I'm going to pay attention to what Anthony Davis does between after Sunday until, let's say, free agency starts. If I get wind that he is not in the gym, getting ready for next year, Clutch Sports, Buddha, Jesus, God, whomever.
Yeah, but most guys are going to take a month off after the season. Almost everybody does. So
yeah, well,
yeah.
Sorry, I think when you take half the
2
season off in the last 2 years, I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy that. I'm going to pay attention to that, and I'm going to be very, very. Again, this is me owning the team. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to be. I think in the end, the management will probably wilter under the pressure of Clutch or Anthony Davis or LeBron, and do what they do. But if it was,
do you think they should do it?
Absolutely. You can't afford to pay us.
Well, you have to answer the.
You can't afford to have a guy. If your guy's not dedicated to play and is continually injured, at what point?
Well, it's the kind of injury.
Have to go another round.
But his injuries came from contact from a player throwing himself into his leg.
Yes,
and stepping on a guy's ankle.
But he's had issues just in almost every game. There's some.
Yeah, he has. But the other side of it is, are you going to? You have to answer the question you have to ask yourself first and foremost if you're the Lakers is, can I win another championship with LeBron James and Anthony Davis? Now, if you don't believe that you can win another championship, then you trade them. But if you believe you can win another championship in the next 2 years with those 2 guys at the head of it, you do everything you can to win that championship. You don't let yourself get stuck with a bunch of contracts that go on well beyond that or players that can't play. So there is some compromising that you're making. But the Lakers, only way the Lakers are going to pull themselves out this summer is the ability to take those 2 draft choices and Russell Westbrook's expiring contract and get 3 rotation players. That's what they need to trade for, 3 rotation players. If they can make that trade, they can pull the season off.
The way they played this year was bad, too. It's not just when they weren't playing.
But every time they went out on the court, anytime they went out the court, they had maybe the best 2 players, and then the other team had like the next best 6 or 7 players.
I think LeBron has the ability to deal with the constant pressure. He's shown that his whole career. But I have a good analysis from what I've seen that maybe AD is tired of the pressure. He likes to be too cool for school, and maybe it's getting to him. The pressure in LA is immense.
He won a championship. That's one thing.
And that, it could be a Philadelphia Eagles.
Guys,
it could be like the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, they win a Super Bowl in 2017. Not only do they win, they beat the New England Patriots, and then all of a sudden they turn into, they get relaxed. We won the Super Bowl. We're done. So
you also need incredible luck to win a championship today. I mean, just look at every sport that we're talking about.
In the NBA, it's different.
Now involves so much injury luck and general luck.
Not so much in the NBA. In the NBA, if you have the right talent, you're in there consistently.
Look at all of the missing players and how that affects. Look at the last 2 or 3 years. Every championship is determined by injuries. I mean, other than when Jordan and Kobe and Shaq were ramming through the league and so forth, what we got now is we have an incredible parity in the league now.
Here's where I'm not going to buy that either, Tom. Here's why. We are in an era where you can't touch anybody. Okay, that's not disputed, right? That's legit. We have the best.
Guards can't touch anybody, but big men can pound on each other.
We can't even look at somebody without somebody getting a tech 1 and threatened to get fined. Okay. The other thing is we are at at least at this moment, the apex of our health situation, right? We know what diets to have. We know nutrition better than ever before. We have the best medical situations we can get. How is it that the league has gotten softer? Players have gotten softer. The diet information is there. They're getting paid millions of dollars, and yet they're still missing games.
Adam Silver, you just heard him the other day talking about
it doesn't make sense.
About these.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy it.
The load management thing is really undermined. I mean, I would be so angry at the prices that you pay for a ticket today that if you bought a ticket to go see LeBron and AD play and Russ play, and you get to the stadium and.
You know why it's not a factor, Tom? You know why it's not a factor? Because people go to games to show off. It's not really about what's on the court. They're not really sitting there and saying, because think about it. Look at LeBron. LeBron has moved 3 times in his career. It's not like you were watching Mickey Mantle in New York, like Mickey Mantle's the Yankee, or when Kobe was playing. Or Jordan. Now, these guys are moving around. Durant's going to Golden State. He's going to Brooklyn.
But they ought to do it. They ought to all be able to move all the time.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't.
I hate
but
the
that
draft.
has an
The whole
effect.
idea of the draft is like slavery, man.
No, it's not. It's nothing like that.
You're saying you can only play for
it's
this
nothing
team
like that.
Play in this city.
You have to have a competitive balance. You can't have a team that's winning all the time.
Just put a salary cap. Just put a realistic salary cap out there, and every time there's a new player coming on board, everybody can bid for him.
Well, Jamie, I was hoping for some energy. It looks like I got it. Anything you want to interject into this, my friend?
No, that's the most absurd. That's just about the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
No, there has actually been a big study done on it that would show that the money would balance out and teams would, you'd have to make a decision. The new LeBron comes off. You're going to invest everything you got to sign the next LeBron James?
What I find astounding is that you literally said the NBA draft is like slavery. But what we really need is an auction.
Well, no, it's what you really need is a player
to marry
be able to choose
two
who
concepts.
he wants to work for and where he wants to live.
I'm trying to understand how you see a difference that I don't see.
Well, it's a big difference. I'm for the player being able to decide where he wants to play and who he wants to play with, where he wants to live.
There are consequences to that.
Right.
Look at Durant.
You're saying
you need to have
Jamie, let me say this one thing, and I'll let you talk.
Antitrust exemption.
Oh, I got an answer to that.
To be able to even run the way that you do in the leagues today.
I got an answer. Kevin Durant, before he left, when he was in Oklahoma City and before, right? I had never seen him even a semblance of any kind of agitation. He was too cool for smooth. He was just not even. He goes to Golden State, wins 2 championships, and turns into a ornery human being. Every 5 seconds, he's got either a dirty look or he said, and again, I don't mind him talking back because the media deserves everything they get 90% of the time. But the point is, it's not about that I don't want them to have a choice. It's that there are consequences when you don't show up and you're not loyal to one team. Therefore, that whole thing about, hey, we want to go watch Kevin Durant, that starts to go away because they don't have any fans in the teams don't have any loyalty to that guy because they don't know if he's going to be there a year or two later. That's the part that
James
you lose the essence
James Harden throws that in your face every single season with every single team.
And then you reward him.
And you reward him.
You reward him by trading him.
I would never want him on my team because of the way he gets out of every team he's in.
You can't compare that to slavery. I mean, it's a guy who quits.
Listen, you have to have the Major League Baseball, football, and basketball have an antitrust exemption that allows them to violate the Constitution and force people to be only able to play for the team that drafts them. I mean, how would you like to go to school, get an MBA, and then be told that you were drafted by TBS and you have to go live in Atlanta?
I don't think you compare sports to
your career. I mean,
the guys at TBS aren't playing. Sports is different.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sports is not you get paid to work, but it's about the goal is to get.
You can treat the players.
You don't win championships at TBS.
All right, guys. All right.
It's the plantation, man.
Sports is different.
I cannot wait for the YouTube comments on this one. That's all I'll say from here. But
sports is different, guys. It's about business, but there's a championship. There's a competitive.
I want to be able to play wherever I want to play for whoever I want to play.
So then you have like 3 teams.
If that was the case, then
eliminate the draft.
You're not gonna have 20 teams.
Right? Yeah. You're gonna have like 5 teams.
Sure you will. They'll all adjust. Because
I don't think anybody wants to go to Orlando, man.
You can't go over the salary cap.
The Lopez brothers do because
spend it all on
Disney fans.
Michael. You want to spend it all on Russell Westbrook? You can. You want to pay LeBron James almost of your salary? You can.
Well, I'm open.
Of your salary
I'm always open to not having a salary cap. I've always felt that way, but
you got to have a salary cap because otherwise teams like the Clippers would buy everybody. I mean,
they have 100 times. Portland buy everybody in 2000, 2001. It didn't mean anything. The Yankees bought everybody for a decade. They won one championship in 2009.
Why do you think the Rams? Why do you think the Rams and the Dodgers won?
Dodgers have won. First of all,
why did they win last year?
That's another subject. I'll have
they
to get
spent
you
the most money on salaries than any other team did.
All right, let's finish this up so we can get to MLB.
G's hand is talking.
Let's get to this MLB.
I'm waiting for Tom to do this now.
Exactly, indeed. But once again, the Lakers do fall 128-112. They're now 31-49. Only 2 games left. Only 2 games of pain left for us as Lakers fans. But before we head on out, another season starts.
50 losses is going to be in there.
Oh yeah, it'll be in there. That's pretty much a given. But before we head on out, a season has arrived, but not the NBA. It is Major League Baseball opening up their season. I know what's MLB doing on a Lakers podcast. We thought we'd go ahead and talk about a little bit about MLB before we head on out. You know, Joe is wearing his Dodgers shirt. You know, LakerTom is rooting for his Yankees. You know, Jamie Sweet and I are wondering about the Angels pitching staff. So exactly.
Can you believe these guys, Angels fans?
Yes.
Oh, God.
So before we head on out, LakerTom, I will start with you. Your thoughts?
I'm predicting the Angels are going to win the World Series this year.
Well, no, you're not going to predict your Yankees versus.
Yeah. No, the Angels are going to probably sweep the Yankees and shut them out. I mean, how can you deny the Angels? I mean, any team that would be named the California Angels of Anaheim or whatever their name is.
They've won once.
You know,
they've been denied a lot. Believe me.
Just like the Clippers should be sent to Seattle, they should be sent back to San Diego.
They never played in San Diego.
If I had $10 billion, I'd buy them. But then again, you know,
no,
worth 100 billion.
I think it's very obvious that the team that's going to win the Major League Baseball championship again is going to be the Dodgers, who outspent everybody, went out and improved the championship team. How are you going to beat that?
They didn't outspend anybody. They let Corey go for $350, and they got a better hitter in Freeman for less than half.
They spent $60 million more than the New York Yankees. $60 million. I mean,
the Dodgers do.
The Oklahoma City Thunder don't even spend $60 million on the entire team.
They have one of the best farm systems too, so they're doing both.
That's
the farm system. They're not in the players that they're adding to their team.
They're going to add a starting pitcher too at the trade deadline.
They're coming from free agency.
No, you don't understand. That's also for trades and for your depth and your rotation and your roster. You know, LakerTom. That's why the Dodgers are really doing well, is because they not only do they have these homegrown guys that maybe one or two will stick on the team, but the others are used in trades.
Not only that, but you have to also understand Justin Turner, Chris Taylor, guys like Kiki Hernandez before he left. These are guys that were not sought after, came to LA and flourished. This is not a one.
You outspend the Yankees by $60 million. That's why.
Okay, it sounds like you're just gonna roll with what you thought, and you don't care what I say.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Okay. LakerTom, even though the Yankees fan picks the Dodgers, who do you pick? I'm assuming it's going to be the Dodgers as well.
What's the subject there? Who's going to win the World Series?
Yeah, who's going to win the World Series?
The problem is the Dodgers in 19 and in 21 won 106 games and didn't even get to the World Series.
That's because
that's a problem.
Baseball. That's baseball.
Now, what's the issue right now is what the heck's going to happen with Trevor Bauer, because they need that guy at least right now. However, I do have confidence in that they'll make a move at the deadline to get a frontline starting pitcher. I just hope that Urias and Buehler don't run a gas again. And then their bullpen, you know, Kenley's gone, and we got this guy.
Kimbrel from Chicago.
And we're going to see if he can flourish again, because he kind of struggled last year. And, you know, I think their lineup in terms of their hitting and the fact that the DH is now in the NL.
It's got to stay healthy. It looks great on paper, but it's got to stay healthy. The
Lakers
are great on
championship,
paper.
Man. They bought another
even when they were healthy, they should not have lost in 19 and 21, in my opinion. They should be
they got cheated out of two. They
got cheated in 17 and they got cheated a little bit in 18. I can't think about that anymore because it drives me nuts, because it cost Kershaw an MVP in the World Series and a second title, which would have completely changed his whole career.
Okay, let's talk about the Angels now.
I don't want to talk about the Angels.
Jamie,
I'll talk about the Yankees. I'll talk about the Yankees.
I will say that for me, before I get to you, Jamie, I'm going to say the Dodgers, but look out for the Toronto Blue Jays. I have every publication I've read, everything I've looked into on video previews and whatnot, have said, watch out for the Toronto Blue Jays. And I'll leave it at that. They've got a lot of nice young talent. Guerrero's going to be a superstar. He already is a superstar. Bichette, Dante's kid, is a really good player as well, and they've got a nice starting rotation that they can throw at you. Jamie, your thoughts before we head on out?
I got Toronto up there. I got Toronto up there. I got the Dodgers up there. This year I got the Angels up there. I wouldn't have said that last year, but we did enough
starting pitching.
And if Trout can stay healthy and Ohtani can do what he did last season, even if he just replicates it, and Rendon returns to anything like Anthony Rendon level, I like our chances at least in the AL West. It's so early to say who's going to win the World Series. It's opening day for crying out loud. But if I'm going homer if we're doing a
I find it hilarious that every time the Padres make a move, it's they're going to contend in the NL West, and then all of a sudden,
last year there was supposed to be their year, and look what happened. The Giants actually surprised.
There's too many fun clubs in San Diego, man.
And that actually might have been
what game I saw was against the Padres.
The Giants and the Dodgers killed themselves last year. They wore themselves out towards the end, and
trying to get that.
I guess that's the excuse, but we'll see. Well, I'm fully expecting the fact that they got Freeman and replacing Seager for less than half of what Seager got. I thought that was as bad arse as a move as you could have made in an offseason.
Yeah.
And as far as starting pitching, they still got some prospects that can come up, that can do some things. I am concerned about one thing, and that's Walker Buehler. I saw him pitching in spring training, and I didn't like what I saw.
He looks like he got old.
He looks like something's going on in his head. Something's wrong, and we're gonna have to see how that plays out. He's gonna pitch tomorrow. I'm not gonna go by tomorrow's game, but something weird happened last year towards the end of the season, and I haven't been able to figure out what it was.
We'll find out what happens during the course of the 2,000 game season every year that the major league players do. Okay, yes, I know it's 162, but
thank God it starts tomorrow, so that
it started tonight.
Well, you don't watch all 162?
No, my gosh.
I watch at least 140.
Oh my gosh! Watching the 82 games this year for the Lakers wasn't that enough?
But you can read a book. You can read a book while you're watching a baseball.
When you live the life I live, of complete freedom to do whatever the hell you want.
I actually like going to baseball games. Going to baseball games is still fun. That's all, I guess.
I don't express enough how great my life is.
Yeah, you have it on the show. It's been rare.
It's actually better than when I say it.
Well, with the Angels, all I'm going to say is health.
Why you left?
They don't have either. They never have either throughout the time.
I'm being serious.
Trout's now on the backside of 30, and he'll look great for a couple months.
He's still playing?
He's still playing. Ohtani, again, I still don't think you should play him two-way. I really think you're asking for a lot of trouble. I really think you're going to burn him out, but you know what? They're going to do it anyways because the Angels have nothing in starting pitching that's consistent or even anywhere near what these other teams should be scared of. But you know what?
Enjoy the anomaly. I think that's
what is their name? What is their name? What is the real name of the Angels?
The Los Angeles
Angels of Anaheim of Northern San Diego.
Anaheim is the real name?
The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, yes.
Of Northern San Diego.
They're just trying to get – it's just all about sales, Lakertom. It's just all about sales.
Man, I mean, really –
They get $3 million that pack the stadium every year.
A lot of teams don't play in the city that they're named for.
No, they both do. They both do.
Every time I see that stadium, it's freaking empty. What are you talking about? Are you serious?
Check their attendance. Yes. Check their attendance every year. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to check it right now.
Yes, we'll check it right now. I'm checking right now. They get $2 to $3 million. Well, actually, don't do it for last year because of COVID.
There was no COVID last year. That was 20.
No, there was. Don't even start.
And there's no COVID this year.
2019. Let's go with 2019.
Give me a break.
Major League Baseball. There you go.
The average 18,667 people.
3 million in 2019. 3 million. 23.
There are more people in my front lawn than the people that went to freaking Angels game.
Okay, now hold on. They were 5th in the Major League Baseball in 2019, which is the last full year non-COVID.
Wait, are you an Angels fan?
I am an Angels fan, but I was a Dodgers. I was a Dodgers fan.
How do you was?
I was.
How do you go from one team to another? I never understood that.
That happened
sort of like cheating on your wife.
Oh, God.
I was a Dodgers fan
Pretty
as a
much the
kid,
same
but I
thing,
got
man.
tired of. Yeah, they got rid of Garvey, and that was all of it.
Really?
Yes. In 2019, the Dodgers were number one with just under 4 million, and the Angels just over 3 million. So yes, there is still a difference, but the Angels were still a top 5.
They're the Clippers of baseball.
Okay, now that we bored everybody to death on this episode, we'll go ahead and just let you know.
By that,
as if we didn't bore them on the Laker game.
Yeah, exactly.
They're better than the other LA team.
Yeah, well, you know.
Well, they are 19 championships.
Careful about those comparisons.
To 0.
I think it's hilarious that the Clippers are so highly great right now. And what are they, like 1 game over 500 or 1 game?
I wouldn't say that, but they're better than the Lakers.
And their future's looking brighter. They're moving into a new arena. They've got an owner with deep pockets. And what do the Lakers have right now? Lakers have got a lot of issues they need to address, and nobody can.
They still can address them.
Oh yes, and we will be addressing them in the comment section at YouTube, at Facebook, also at Lakers Fast Break, at LakerTom, Lakerholics.com, LakersBall.com, the Hoop Has Podcast Network. Give you a big shout out there, but please go ahead and be part of the conversation today on any of those platforms. We do answer you. We do appreciate you taking the time to watching and listening. But yes, we will be back to continue the pain tomorrow because the Lakers are at home at the Crypto.com arena against Oklahoma City. It's a normal 7:30 start. It's on the Lakers station. So I will say that trap game. There is no more trap games right now. Jamie Sweet's Admiral Akbar is now
we're the trap team, and
it's a trap.
Yes.
We're supposed to be the trap team, and we can't do that right. So
yeah, we can't even do that.
How about if we play trap music?
There you go. Well, I can't even play any music because I get a copyright block. But I will say that
reverse the screen or something.
Joe,
your nose looks like this when it reverses, right?
The same bot hit me on both of my channels on the same generic StreamYard public domain music they start up, and I'm fighting them. I'm fighting them all the way, tooth and nail on Facebook.
Good for you, Gerald. Good for you.
I'll write you a theme.
There you go.
We'll support you. We'll support you.
I'd love to use the Lakers.
I'd love to see Gerald in a
fight. Your
congressman? I'd love to see you in a fight. That would be fun to watch.
Oh, hush.
Actually, I want to see Tom in a fight.
Yeah, well,
I don't fight anymore.
Anymore is the key word there. But the Lakers will be playing tomorrow at the Crypto.com arena, 7:30 start time, and we'll be back. Yes, we continue our pain for 2 more games, but we'll be doing lots of shows during the course of the summer. We're going to be doing shows every week, so keep in tune with us on YouTube, on Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts, because, again, we'll be here tomorrow, but please keep in touch with us. Keep sending out those comments. Keep going ahead and listening, watching. We need all the help you can get because we truly appreciate you stopping by the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.